Hey my dear friend, this is Gaël here, and I used to be called GT online on Facebook and social media. And tonight, this is what you may not know about me. And I wanted to do this live as a date between you and me. So why a date between you and me? It's just because this is during a date when we learn to know each other. I know that I may not know you, but I want you to know me. And to know me, the true me, how I am really, and what happened in my life to become a coach today. And it was kind of important for me to have this conversation with you. And I'm happy for you to write down your question in the comment section, and I will answer them during the live. So I will start with my live, and if I have question, I will answer on the floor, if that's cool with you. So basically, I was born in New Caledonia. So for those who don't know New Caledonia, it's a little teeny tiny island next to Australia. So we are 250,000 people living there. And there's like really small, 400 kilometers long, 50 kilometers large, so it's kind of small. And I was raised by my single mom. She did the best she could with what she knew at the time, because my parents got divorced when I was really young, about 4 or 5 years old. And my parents got divorced because my dad was an alcoholic and he was beating my mom. So my mom decided that was not a good fit for her. So they decided to split. And my first memory of that was that I had to choose between my mom and my dad, and I was torn between that. And I grew up in this environment where my mom did the best she could. I was barely seeing my dad, and he was loving me, caring about me, but not really so. And I was surrounded mostly by women. And my mom was like educating me. At this time, I'm 40 years old now, so I was born in 1981. I will be 40 this year. And educating at the time was like mostly beating kids because they were not doing what you want to do. So I was growing up in this environment. And from a very young age, I learned to read, thanks to my mom. She was a teacher. And something like I've realized in school, I've never liked school, really. Don't know for you, but I've never liked school, right? So what happened is I was loving reading. I was reading all the time. I was the kind of kid that my grandma was taking with her when she was going to work. My grandma was a cleaner, so she was taking me to work with her. She was putting me in a corner of a room, and I was not moving for all day. And I was just sitting there waiting with a book and reading. And I was reading a lot of books about stories, about anything. I was just reading. And from a very young age, I realized that why I didn't like school was because why should I go to school when I can learn something from the book, right? When I can learn something from my own. So I was always average in school, right? I was always the average kid, average students, and my mark was always average. The comments on the mark was always can do better, need to progress, need to work more, need all that kind of stuff. So I did my scholarship like that, a bit between two, average, until like I went to high school and uni, and I quit uni very soon. I was about 17 years old when I quit uni, because I was average, but I was not missing a class. I was not like stepping out of a class, and I was just going with the flow. And I quit school when I was 17. Without any degrees, without any certification, and I just wanted to enjoy life and live the life and be in the life. And in uni, I met this amazing teacher. It was this like, he was like teaching computing, and it was like, whoa, for me. Was 1998. I've discovered all the computers and all that kind of stuff, and was kind of new here. We did not have internet. It was really expensive. I remember my mom make a loan to buy a computer. I don't know for you, but wow, like it was almost the price of a second-hand car. So she bought this computer. We had this computer at home, and I was like really enjoying it. And this amazing teacher, he was not a real teacher. He was working outside, and he was teaching during the evening. So he had like a professional experience, but he was really teaching during the evening. And something that really like I really enjoy was he gave me this wheel for the computing, for the IT and all that kind of stuff. So I quit uni, I left the school, and at the time I had like one of my good friend was working in a computer shop, and he said to me, hey, look, we're looking for someone, and if you want to join, I can talk to the boss if you're interested, and you can work with us. And I said, oh yeah, but like that would be fun, but you know, I don't really know computing, right? I was just doing it. So I started my working journey like that, during going from job to jobs. So that was my very first job. And I always remember this boss because it was the most amazing boss. He taught me how to sell to people, because the first thing he said, like, if someone get into your shop, means like he's interested to buy, but he doesn't know it yet. And your job is to make him buy something. And I was like, wow, that's and I've been like working with this boss with like about a year, and then I was struggling to find jobs, and I was jumping from job to job because like I was kind of stubborn. And when I was not liking something, what I was just doing was just jump onto the next things, or just jump out. I was like, okay, I don't like that, I'm just quitting. And then I was like, okay, I need to find another job. I was finding another job, and I was struggling a little bit for the first 10 years of my working experience. Until the moment where I get many experience, many jobs, and I was always moving up, but slowly. And there was this one time that I met this my friend introduced me to his friend. She was like working for the bank, and she said to me, hey, look, we're looking for someone like you who's doing the computing and is with this energy and all that. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have any degrees, and in the bank they hire you because you have degrees or certification. And we have we drink and all that. And a few days after, I realized that she gave me the email address of the HR of the bank. And I was like, yeah, okay, why not? I'm just gonna send my application and we'll see. And I was lucky enough because my past experience has been like really in so many areas. I worked in a computer shop, I work in I don't know for those of you who are not old enough, but the DVDs, I work in a DVD shop. You know, the place where you go, you pick DVDs, you rent DVDs, a rental DVD shop. I work for alarm company. I was putting alarm in the house. I work for a photography shop. This experience was really great for me because when I started, I didn't know anything about photography. Anything. I didn't know a single thing. I didn't even know how to use a camera. And after 6 months, I trained myself. I read lots of books. I trained myself, and I learned how to do photography. And I was even teaching some of the professionals here in New Caledonia how to use their digital camera, because they were switching from, I don't know if you remember, we had like this, how do you say that in English? We have to make like the negative. We have the negative of camera, and we switched to the digital one. And after that, I work as a consultant in computer as well for a big company, but I was bored. And then I applied for the bank. And I applied for the bank, saying to myself, like, look, you already have a job, you don't look for anything, so you don't have anything to lose, right? So I applied for the bank, and they called me back. They wanted to have an interview with me to see if I was okay. So I went to the interview. I remember because I had the appointment, it was 2 p.m. or something. And it was the number 2 of the bank. I don't know how to say that, but it was the general secretary, like the number 2, the big head of the company that was like hiring, because the job was actually a really high job. And he made me wait in the waiting room for 30 to 45 minutes. And I was upset. I was upset. I was like, oh, he's not respecting me. And because I was stubborn, again, and I went to the interview, and it was funny because I went into his office, and right away, I checked his hand, I said, hey, look, my name is Gaël Trigalo, you know me, you've already have my application, you've read my resume, you know exactly what I'm doing, I know that I am the best guy for the job, you won't find anyone else on the place, this is what I want for the money. This is what I want. You call me back in a week. And I left the office, right? I left the office. And I was like, once I was in my car, I was just scratching my head and asking myself, what I've done? Like, what I've done, right? I was like, and at the moment, like, it was not that important because, like, there was like this, I had already a job and it was not that important. And I was like, okay, they will never call me back. It doesn't really matter. So I left the parking lot and I just went to my life. And a week after, my phone rang and this was like, I can't remember her name, but, this is whatever the name was. I am like, and I remember the guy's name was like, I am this Pascal Brisson assistant, and he wants like you have been chosen for the job, and so if you can come tomorrow 7 a.m. You will start and we'll do the paperwork. And I was like, deep inside me I was like, yes, because going to the bank was like a big step for me because I did not have any certification, any degrees, I didn't have anything, only my head. And because of what I've done, and I thought like, they will never call me back. So I've started the day after, we did the paperwork, I met this Pascal Brisson and we had an amazing chat together, and he said like, I've never met someone bold as you to just be bold and say, hey, I am the best, this is who you need, and leave the room. And he said like, most of people I've interviewed after you were felt so fragile, how do you say that in English? So soft and so all that. So I've been in the bank, and right the second day I was in the bank, I have to say, I will always remember the second day I was in the bank, I wanted to quit right away. I was bored as hell. It was like, there's so many rules, there's so many things to do, there's so many, it was so old as well, like they were doing some stuff that was not making any sense to me. There was nothing that I was like, what the hell, what? And I hate the first day, and I remember that my mom just told me, and I remember I told that my mom, and I said, hey, look, I don't want to stay in a bank, what do you think, because you have the experience and all that. And he said, look, being in a bank is great, you're going to get good salaries, and you finish at 4 p.m, you start at 7, you finish at 4 p.m, and then you can stay at least for 3 months and you'll see. And I was like, okay, let's stay in the bank and I will see. what happened was like I stayed for 3 months, and like people talked about everything and all that, and they said like, oh, in the bank, because I work. New Caledonia is a French country, so we have the French law, and it's all about like you go for 3 months of training, and then if you're good, you might go for another 3 months before getting the contract. And after 3 months, I was doing good in my job, and I get immediately a contract. And many people in the bank told me that, you won't get any raise after at least 1 or 2 years, right? 2 years, I was like, whoa, if I do more, I want to be paid more, right? And as soon as I get my contract, I get my first raise. 3 months again later, I get my second raise. And 6 months later, yes, it was the end of the year or something, I get my third raise. So I've been raised 3 times within the first year. And like everybody was stunned, like, oh, it's because you know somebody, but I've never, like, the only person I knew, she was working in the loan service, like their job was to make loans. So I make my way in the bank. So I started as a marketing assistant, and because I did not have the qualification to be on the top, but I started with the wage I wanted and the assistant, and I make my way in the bank, going up and up and up until it took me about 8-9 years until I became a branch manager at BNP Paribas in New Caledonia. And everything seems great. I have great money. I have a job. I was finishing at 4 p.m. every single day. I was working hard, but I had like many times I was great. And during those 10 years, I've been part of what you call in English union. And I was one of the strong leader in the union, and I was as well the favorite as negotiator with the bank, because I was smart. So, and I was not just going against them, but I was going with them to work for the people in the bank and not against the bank. So for the 10 years, I've done until I get to the branch manager. And this is where I was going. I had the house, I had the nice car, for me, nice car was a Subaru Forester. I always wanted to have one, and I made my dream come true. I bought my Subaru Forester. For those who know, that was the best car I get. And from that, then I get the house. I get I made a lot of money, but I was not really happy. I was struggling. I had stomachache every single day when I wake up to go working, and all that kind of stuff. And something in my life just happened. Was my baby dog, and I'm a big baby dog lover. Got killed by my ex-girlfriend dogs, and from that, she was supposed to be 9 years old this year. So it was in 2017 when I was a branch manager. 2017 was for me my worst year ever. In January, lost my baby dog, killed by my ex-girlfriend dogs, and I have to say that sorry about that, guys. I just get a bit emotional. When I lost her, it was I felt really devastated, and I cried for almost a month, and I still miss her because she was really my baby dog. And I think from there I could not really rise up again. I was how do you say mourning in English? I was really in a bad state, and this had a really bad impact on my job, and I burnt out. and was part of, because of the job, because of my life, because of my loss, I could not get over it. And after that, I've been depressed under medication for a year, and always thought about my baby dog, and what could I have done differently, what could I have done, and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that there was nothing I could do. But the thing is, I was depressed, I was emptied, and I was like really, 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 really down. I was spending my money all around and buying stuff and buying a new screen, buying a new home cinema, buying everything to make me, trying to feel the emptiness of the loss. And because I was depressed, my ex-girlfriend, and which I'm thankful now, but at the time I did not understand. I'm really thankful now because she dumped me. And now I understand that if she hasn't done that, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. And for me, like, she dumped me about November 2017, and it was really hard because it was really in a fast way. I did not realize what was happening to me. And in December, we had this big fight with my mom, and the person that I felt that was supposed to love me the most told me so many stuff that I felt for me, because I was already fragile as well. Like, I was down, I was not a really good space. And she told me that, and at this time, the only thing, and she left my house, we had this big fight, she told me so many things, I was crying. And the thing is, on this day, I felt like my life was not worth it. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to end the suffering. And for a long time, I've always said I'm strong. It will never happen to me. It won't happen to me because I'm strong and all that. But the reality, when it happens to me, I was weak, in a way that I wanted to really end the suffering, I wanted to make it stop. I was hurt so badly. I was feeling so much pain, and I wanted to stop the pain. I wanted to end my life. I wanted to kill myself, and obviously I haven't done it. But I spent 15, 17 hours in the dark of my house and thinking about my life, how my life was miserable, and how I was afraid at school. I did not really did something great. I did not did something about my life. I did not have any money. I did not have anything. And I was lucky enough because I had a knife. I had a bunch of pills, of sleeping pills, antidepressant pills, and all that kind of pills you think that's gonna have an effect. And I have a book, and the book, I was thinking, I can cut my veins, I can put the knives in my heart, and I was thinking my life and blah, you start to think about all the bad things that happen in your life. And the book was Unlimited Power from Tony Robbins. And I remember, I will always remember this moment in my life where I asked myself, what this guy would have done if he were me. What this guy would have done if he were me. I wanted to know, I wanted to understand. And at this time I was okay, let's see, let's check on him on internet. So I check him on internet, and there was like this seminar going on in Australia, Cairns, which is very close to New Caledonia, in Cairns. And I was like, okay, let's book it. It's $8,000. Let's book it. I booked it on internet, and I don't know if you remember that I told you that I was broke. I did not have any money. And I was like, okay, let's book for the $8,000. Oh, there's another seminar in September. It was in May. The first one was in May. The second one was in September. I booked it as well. I booked the flight, I booked the hotel, and I booked everything. And I charged my card for $15,000. And at first, I'd like to thank American Express. At first, I felt great. You know, like in life, sometimes you do things for yourself. You feel great. At this moment, when I paid and everything, and I was like, oh, I felt released, and really light. I had the best sleep that I had for a long time. It was a year that I was depressed. I was under sleeping pills, and I was all that. And now I felt that I was sleeping right, feeling light and all that. But, you know, nothing lasts. So life was coming back to me. So the day after, I just received an email from American Express saying, hey, we've just charged a card for $15,000, and it's just a kindly reminder that it's gonna be taken from your bank account at the end of the month. And we were about the 20 something about at the end of the January, and we were 23rd of December. And I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do that? So because when you don't have any other choice, you find solution. And the fastest way to make money, I found out myself, is to sell all your stuff. I sold all my stuff. And when I say all my stuff, I sold my bed, I sold my car, I sold every single piece of furniture. The only thing I kept in my house was my fridge. And I was sleeping on the ground. I was like, but I paid the $15,000. And that was the most important thing for me. Paid the $15,000. So I sold every single thing. So I was happy for a while, like, okay, now everything is paid and all that. And then about the second week of January, I watched a documentary on I'm Not Your Guru on Netflix. I Am Not Your Guru. It's about Tony Robbins, and I've realized that even if the book I was reading was in French, it was a translation, but the guy was speaking in English, and a strong American English, right? That for French like me who wasn't speaking was really hard to understand. So I contacted the Success Resource and asked them, hey, is there any translation? Is there anything? They said, oh, sorry, there's no French people in Australia, so we don't translate it. If you want a translation, you will have to go to London. I said, yes, but it's kind of far, London. It's a 24 hours flight. How am I going to do that? So from January, the seminar was in May. So from the middle of January, end of January, I started to learn English. So this is why sometimes I'm a bit struggling with English, because I learned myself English, and it's only been 3 years now that I'm speaking. So sometimes I might be struggling with English. So from January to May, my goal was to learn English and be fluent enough to enjoy the seminar and enjoy to be able to help my team, because I've seen in I'm Not Your Guru that they were working as a team. So I finally learned English, fly to Cairns, did this amazing 6-day seminar. Was the most amazing seminar I've ever done, really. It was amazing, many people, there was 2,000 people, and we were as a team, and we were doing all that kind of stuff. And after the seminar, I was in Australia, in Cairns, and I was in Sydney for a few days because like I was enjoying the time. I paid $15,000 for the whole package, so I was staying in Sydney for a few days, and I realized that I wanted to stay in Australia. So I just stayed in Australia for the next 2 years until 2020, where I started really my coaching business. I started first as a life coach, but quickly I shift to business coaching. I was helping aspiring entrepreneurs to become like, to really make their business take off, to really have this mindset, because it's all about the mindset that you can grow and grow your business, and having those ideas. And because I was bold enough and I was like self-confident enough, that I had the mindset for that. So I spent the 2 next years in Australia, did my way, and then because 2020 hits with the COVID, and I was not able to get a visa because I did not have any degrees, and I was kind of old. I was not able to get a visa, so I have to fly back. I had the choice of staying in Australia and may not have a visa during the COVID, or fly back to New Caledonia. So I flew back to New Caledonia, and I was like a bit disappointed for a few months because I was coming back, I had nothing, and you know, like it was kind of hard, and I spent most of my money that I was earning in Australia to try to get the visa. And all that happened, and now I've like started really again my coaching business, my business coaching for business and entrepreneurs since like last year in November. And this is where I am today, and I've been helped, and now this is where I am talking to you. So this is my whole story. I hope like you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any question, please put them in the comment section and I will be happy to answer. If you have any question, I am an open book tonight, and I really want like to know you, as like we want to understand each other, and I really want you to feel me that to feel that I'm doing coaching because I love helping people. I love seeing people like succeed, and I love seeing like people thrive, and I love seeing people happy. And this is my drive. This is why I'm doing it. And I'm not doing it for the money, because if it was for the money, I would have stayed in the bank, right? When I quit the bank, I knew that we can make money as a coach, but that was not for that. If I wanted to make money, I could have stayed in the bank. There's so many opportunities. There's so many things to do in the bank, because you are in touch with so many business and entrepreneurs and all that. So if you really want to make money, it's easy because you have the network. The network is here, and the people with the money are with you. So this is why I wanted to share that with you, for you to understand that my drive is you, and this is why I'm doing it. This is for you guys, because this is who you drive. How can I say that? I'm driven by seeing you, by seeing your success, by seeing you succeed in life. I'm driven by your success, by your smile, by your laughing. I would say that this is why I wanted it to be like a date, because I have to say that I'm in love with my customer, with my clients. Like, I really want them to thrive and be the best it can be, either in the business, in their life, in whatever they do. I really want them to succeed and be the best they can be. So if you don't have any question, guys, just put them in the comment section and I will answer them. If you don't have any question, I will be off in a few minutes, just letting you the time to ask me question. And if you don't have any question, I will be happy. Just bear with me. I'm just looking if you have any question. So no question, guys. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate for those who watched until the end. For those who have just joined at the end, thank you anyway. And please drop down in the comment section if you're watching it live or replay, just for me to know what is going on there. Okay, guys. Okay, so no question about me, about what I've done and how I did it. So I'm gonna be off now. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna check because I know that sometime Facebook is not showing the question. Okay, guys. Wish you an amazing evening for those who are on the same side of the world. Wish you an amazing day for those of you who are on the other side of the world. And wish you all the best for everyone else. Talk to you soon. Bye. I'm off for now.